Welcome back to some new r/malicious compliance stories, where people comply to the letter, but not the spirit of a request. I hope you had a great day. Thanks for all the likes and comments on the last video. And now let's start with the first story. It's called Karen Manager. Many years ago, I worked at a satellite office of a larger company. We had one shiny new system for day-to-day tasks. Useful, sure, but not complete. I was one of the older employees, around since before the upgrade, which meant I still had access to the old system, the one that actually showed us the useful stuff, stocking issues, buying reports and more. So every couple of days I'd pull 2 or 3 reports. Not sensitive, just helpful, like turning on the light to get a drink at night. Not essential, but why bump into furniture? For years, no issues. Then Karen, our department manager at the HQ, finds out I still have access. She goes full power trip. Only my team needs to use that system. No warning, no conversation. Just nukes my access with an email to IT. I find out when I get an error message next time I log in. Quick message to IT, then a short and spicy reply from Karen. You don't need access. If you need info, ask my team. Got it. I tell my local team. All questions go through me now. I'll email Karen's team directly. This way no one else gets caught in Karen's blast radius. So I could filter duplicate queries. Because I'm me and Karen knows it. We were pulling 2 to 3 reports a week. Now Karen's team is fielding 50+ questions a day. From me, individually. 6 recipients per email, every single query. Day 1, Karen's annoyed. Day 3, she complains to my manager. Day 5, HR calls a meeting. Could you maybe send 1 email a day with a list instead of dozens? Turns out bombarding 6 people with 50 emails daily creates chaos. Invoices get missed. Shipments get delayed. Or worse, cancelled. Within 2 months, Karen's team is restructured. Turns out they were padding their workload. 1 task equals 6 jobs, because they all got CC'd. Now each team member pulls the same reports I used to, twice a week, and distributes them to their assigned stores. The other stores had just stopped asking questions when they lost access. We accidentally made HQ support better by being a pain. The next story is called Only Drill. Back in the late 80s, I started as a driller's helper at a small, tight-knit engineering firm. Family run, no corporate suits. I learned the ropes, worked my way up, and when one of the drillers quit, I got tested on every rig we had. I passed with flying colors and got promoted to driller. This meant guaranteed 40 hours a week, even if there was no drilling. If there was no work, we got paid to sit around. Not bad, but I got bored fast. So I started helping out elsewhere, breaking concrete test cylinders, soil tests in the lab, sieve studies, hydrometer work, elasticity testing, field tech work. I even ran plans to different DOT offices. No one asked me to, I just liked being useful. Eventually, the owner retired and sold the business. Enter corporate management firm with clipboards and efficiency goals. They called a company-wide meeting. First bombshell, drillers are no longer guaranteed 40 hours. If there's no work, stay home. No work, no pay. Then they met with each department. Afterward, they opened the floor for questions. Every department head, every single one, asked, what about him? The managers blinked. What about him? And one by one, department heads listed all the stuff I was doing to keep the place running. Corporate's brilliant response, he is a driller. That's what he was hired for. That's all we want him to do. Mic drop, but not in the cool way. That answer did not go down well. Meeting got heated. Other drillers looked at me and said, yeah, we are out. We made a hasty exit. Straight to the watering hole. Barley pops were had. Loss were shared. Later that day, folks from other departments showed up, just as mad as we were. It was clear. New management had no clue what they just broke. 3 weeks later, phone rings. Hey, you got a drilling job. Come in tomorrow. Too late. I already had another job. So did the other drillers. Nobody was waiting around for a paycheck that may or may not show up. A few months later, I stopped by the old office. The place looked different. So did the people, mostly new ones. They had to outsource all drilling, sold off the rigs, hired 4 extra people to do what I'd been doing alone. Learned very fast how much value doesn't show up in a job title. Apparently, they even had stories about me. Nice ones. Made the visit worth it. The third story is called Too Much PTO. I work for a massive corporate company. Great place, solid benefits. But I got stuck under a micromanaging director who ran on caffeine, paranoia and petty power trips. The guy was neurotic. If you got up to go to the bathroom, grab water or, God forbid, take lunch, he saw that as slacking off and punished you with even more useless busy work. Leave before 5:05? Expect a guilt trip or worse. Working from home? Not on his team. Everyone else could, but not us. After years of hardly taking time off and enduring this nonsense, I finally planned a big international trip. Something I'd been dreaming of and delaying since 2020. I wrapped up everything, made sure there were no loose ends, and reminded everyone it's December. Half the company checked out anyway. Took my well-earned 1.5 weeks off and had the time of my life. Fast forward a few weeks. My manager, who reports to Mr. Director, pulls me aside and says, deadpan, you really need to be careful. You're out of vacation days. Wait, what? This was bizarre. We'd been told for years not to log time off. On our system, they said. If it's reasonable, nobody's checking, they said. So I asked, politely, should I be doing something differently? I always give notice. Should I start logging everything in the system? He dodges. Won't give a straight answer. Super vague. Fine, you want tracking? You got it. So I took his vague warning as gospel. I went into the system and backlogged every single vacation day I'd ever taken. Even ones from years ago. Some entries were so old I needed HR approval. And every request? Pinged my manager for approval. Dozens of notifications. Weeks worth of time. Then I submitted everything going forward. Sick day? Logged. Doctor's appointment? Logged. Even partial hours? Yep. He got annoyed fast and told me, you really don't need to log all this. I smiled and said, but I thought I was taking too much vacation. We all want to be truthful about the honor system, right? He had no response. Later, a teammate told me the truth. Mr. Director had one of his classic tantrums. He decided our team was slacking, because his nonsense work wasn't getting done fast enough. So he started an investigation, retroactively tracking every day off, sick day and bathroom break we'd taken over the past year, digging through calendars, asking workers if they saw us on certain days, reading emails. This from the guy who repeatedly said, we don't track vacation days. Of course, nobody had actually overused their PTO. We were a top performing team, mostly because we were terrified of setting him off. Meanwhile, Mr. Director took more than his own PTO allotment, frequently vanished on week-long trips, and refused to approve time off for others. People with planned family vacations were pressured to cancel, in case something important comes up. So I used the rest of my PTO. He tried to block it. I threatened to take it up with HR. He backed off immediately. Eventually, I escaped. Moved to another team internally, where the vibe is normal, the work is recognized, and I'm not policed like a child. But here's the best part. I had been handling technical work that no one else on that non-technical team could do. I spent my last 2 weeks documenting everything. Still, Mr. Director started frantically emailing me for help. I ignored every message. Felt amazing. The last story is called Stealing Company Time. This happened a few years ago when I worked in a distribution center. It was one of those classic understaffed days, trying to cram 50 people's worth of work into 25. Pretty normal for that place. I was exhausted, fed up, and happened to have sick time available. So before lunch I went to my supervisor and said, hey, I'm gonna leave after lunch. Nothing unusual, it was standard courtesy. We'd give a heads up so they had time during lunch to shuffle people around and cover the workload. Turns out someone in upper management had it out for me and decided to make this their chance. The next day they pulled me into the office. So, you told your supervisor you were going to leave before you left? Yes? How did you know ahead of time that you were going to be sick? What? Sick time is for being sick. If you use it without being sick, you are stealing company time. And just like that, I got written up for time theft. So I asked them directly, wait, if I had lied and said I'm suddenly sick, I'm leaving right now, I wouldn't be in trouble? They actually said yes. Let that sink in. So I told everyone, all 150 plus co-workers, hey, just so you know, if you give them a heads up that you are leaving early, even to be helpful, they'll write you up for it. But if you just say you are suddenly sick and walk out, that's fine. Guess what happened? Nobody ever gave notice again. From that point on, it was always, I don't feel well, I'm going home. No heads up, no time to reassign tasks. That meant for the next 30 plus minutes, every time someone left, their job position sat empty while everything backed up. And management had to scramble multiple times a day, pulling people from other jobs to deal with the fallout. And that chaos led to even more people calling off entirely. Upper management started freaking out. They began trying to intimidate people with lines like, I'm starting to notice a pattern. Because apparently using sick time you are legally entitled to, and only after following the exact rules, was suspicious. I eventually got a new job, one with actual leadership and a culture that treats employees like humans. But I still think about that moment sometimes, when their obsession with control blew up in their face. All because they punished the one person who was trying to do the right thing. Turns out when you punish honesty, you encourage chaos. Thanks for watching the video to the end. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe. And if you have time, watch another one of my videos. Also, if you want to support me further, check out the channel membership or Patreon. And now, I hope you have a great day. See you soon. Bye bye.